Welcome. We're excited to share this demo video with you, where we will highlight the many recent user-facing and exhibit creator-facing changes to Spotlight at Stanford. From September 2024 to February 2025, a Stanford team of software developers and a UX designer worked to significantly upgrade Spotlight. Our goals were focused on three areas: performing key sustainability upgrades for Spotlight, making improvements to digital accessibility, and addressing top business value priorities requested by exhibit creators. For the purposes of this demo, I will be showing you Stanford-specific changes only. I'll focus on user-facing and exhibit creator-facing changes. For the changes that were made that affect all Spotlight users, please watch the general demo video. We made a lot of accessibility changes, bringing much of Spotlight into conformance with WCAG 2.1 Level A guidelines. Double A guidelines are on the radar for Stanford and the Spotlight community as a next step. We made masthead changes with selected exhibit creator input, ensuring greater color contrast and legibility to conform with accessibility standards. Many of the changes also brought Spotlight at Stanford in line with design patterns for the other library applications we support, such as SearchWorks, Earthworks, and more. We added a search tips modal that appears when a user clicks on search tips next to the search bar in an exhibit. The modal contains advanced search tips for researchers, including, for example, how to construct a Boolean search to refine their query and narrow down the search results. As demoed in the general video, we made changes for exhibit creators to several widgets to allow image area selection for any IIIF-enabled image. This can also be described as a zoomed-in area of an image selected for display. The widgets are Item Row, Item Grid, Item Carousel, and Item Slideshow. For Spotlight at Stanford, this also includes the Item Embed widget. Since the Item Embed widget image area selection works differently than the other widgets, I'll demo it here. So for this image, as an exhibit creator, you can select the image area and you use the zoom controls. Let's say I just want to include these fine folks. Save the changes on the page. And now what appears for exhibit users is this zoomed in area. Of course, for anyone who wants to see the image in its entirety, you can not only use the zoom controls again, but you can also go to the persistent URL page. A key challenge in our heterogeneous metadata environment is providing exhibit creators with a measure of flexibility for metadata field and facet display configuration. Keep in mind, a change to Spotlight at Stanford applies to any exhibit, and we currently have 158 published exhibits. With these constraints in mind, we were able to add the following. One additional metadata field was enabled for optional display. It now appears in the metadata configuration list, provided you have the requisite metadata in the SDR for the content in your exhibit. The new field is creators/contributors. Users can see that field displayed on an item details page, as in this example. Two additional metadata facets were enabled for optional display. If your uploaded SDR content contains the requisite metadata, the facets creators/contributors and creators/contributors by role will appear in the configurable search facet list. Let's look at an example of what users would see. There's just one item in this test exhibit, but it has a number of creators and contributors in a number of different roles, which you can see here. We made basic improvements to heat maps display in exhibits. The Heat Maps plugin is used to display SDR content on a map that includes specially formatted geospatial metadata. We see further opportunities for display improvements in the future, perhaps using a different plugin. In this example, we're looking at what a user would see when they are looking at map view for a browse category. This is supported by the Heat Map plugin. For users that want to see the geographic location of an individual image, they can do so on the item details page, which you see here for this item. Our exhibits documentation exhibit is currently undergoing accessibility remediation alongside a review and update to make sure all instructions accurately reflect the features available in Spotlight version 5. This work should be completed sometime in April 2025. Thank you.